Hi guys, this is Vener. I am the creator of the Learn Turkish Days Away channel, and welcome to this channel. I welcome all of you, all those learners of Turkish language. This is the first live session of this channel, and probably for those who have already followed the channel for several months, you know that I have around 900 videos online already uploaded to this channel. And by the way, if you have not subscribed yet, you are quite welcome to do so. Uh, first things first, I'm not a good public speaker, but I'll try my best to present all kind of a possible explanations, grammar topics about the Turkish language. And you are always welcome to stop me, write something in the chat, ask questions about the Turkish language grammar, and so on and so on. It's kind of I'm always open to that, to discussions, interactions. So I really expect all of you to participate in the live sessions. Now, why did I start kind of a live sessions? I saw very much huge demand in terms of the live sessions, because when I upload videos, many people can't ask really questions about specific things that they see in the videos, in the slides, in the videos that I upload, and therefore I kind of felt that need to teach online through the live sessions. So I will be conducting these live sessions twice a week. First, I want to conduct these sessions on Tuesdays, on the evenings of Tuesdays, and on Thursdays. So right now that's the plan. I'm not kind of sure how it will go, but basically I'll try to have at least 2 live sessions per week, and I hope that will be the minimum. The Tuesday lessons will be about a specific grammar, and that's basically targeted for specific grammar topics. So I will have my own choice of grammar topic that I will explain, first giving the rule about the grammar, and then giving the examples, multiple and as many as possible examples about the grammar rule, so that you really have a good understanding of how to implement that specific grammar rule in practice. And on Thursday, I plan to have usually the Q&A session, where you are open to ask questions about anything related to Turkish language. It might be the grammar topic, it might be some kind of expressions, anything that you like to ask. So feel free to join on both days, on Tuesday and Thursdays. But on Thursday specifically, I expect really you to participate. I expect to have those sessions to be more interactive, and I will be, of course, mostly using English language to explain the topics, and I think that is really essential for you first to understand the topic right in English, and then practice everything in Turkish language. So we will, of course, we will have Turkish discussions in Turkish language. I'll be talking. Despite the fact that I will be talking mostly English, you will always have this kind of opportunity to also express yourself in Turkish. I'll help you out. I'll do my best to help you express yourself in Turkish as much as possible. So I don't know how much I can really sustain this. It depends on you. I currently have around 2,000 subscribers. I don't know exactly whether we will have more. I hope we will have more and more subscribers, so that it becomes a much more interactive kind of approach to learning Turkish. And let's see how it goes. Let's see. This is my first session. I have never streamed online, and I hope it will really be helpful for the learners of Turkish language. Once more, if you are still not subscriber of this channel, I encourage you to do so. Feel free to comment on any videos, including posting in this chat. Now, what is the topic of today? Today we will focus on the topic there is, there are. Let me just make a small adjustment here very quickly. I hope you see the I have been testing multiple times to make this kind of a session, to make this session working properly, to work properly. So what is the topic of today? Today we will talk about how to say there is, there are in Turkish language. And basically, the rule is very simple. The rule is very simple. We have a very straightforward rule about that. So what is the rule here? We use just two words to express there is or there are, which the first one is var, and the second one, for the negative one, we say yok. Now, of course, we will see for all possible cases, the affirmative, negative, interrogative, and negative interrogative case in this lesson. But we will, of course, start with the first one, to say there is, there are. Now, to say there is, there are something or somewhere, right, you will always say something var. Okay, there isn't, aren't will be something yok. Yani bir şey yok. Masa yok. Kalem var, masa yok, and so on. But of course, we will have to complete the sentence, right? That's the point here. We will complete the sentence. You will see more examples about this. And if you want us to make the sentence interrogative, you will just say var mı. For negative interrogative, you will be saying yok mu. Yok mu. Okay, so var mı, yok mu. Now, one kind of important note about this var mı and yok mu is that the ending question word mı and mu, so mı for the interrogative, affirmative interrogative, and the mu for the negative interrogative, they are fixed. Okay, they don't change. There is no variation when you ask, is there anything or are there anything. There is no variation of this mı or mu because that ending comes after var and yok, both of which are stable. Okay, so whenever you say you want to know affirmatively if there is something, right, when you ask something, you will always say var mı, because var is stable, therefore mı will always be mı. Okay, there will be no variation. There will be no mu, mu, and something like that. For yok mu, it is same, because yok has a vowel which is a round vowel o. The question word after yok will definitely always mu. Okay, so it will be yok mu, always like that. It's fixed, and therefore don't expect anything to be different. It will never be yok mu or yok mu. It's always yok mu. For the interrogative affirmative, it will be always var mı. Okay, so let's see all this kind of things in practice through examples. I have basically opened a WordPad document just for practice purposes. Quite weirdly, I don't know why, but it's not possible to open the Word document in this. I mean, in software I'm using in OBS. I have looked for multiple kind of solutions to use the Word, but for now I haven't found any solution. So let's kind of go and see the examples through the WordPad. Okay. Now, let's say that just masada kalem var. Okay, so let's say there is a pen on the table. So masada kalem var. This will be there is, right, a pen on the table. Now, of course, don't forget that. Let me just make it a bit smaller to fit the line. Okay, so now pay attention to the fact that in regard to the articles a or an, okay, for to be in Turkish, because we don't have articles, you would not. I mean, it might be meaning different things in English. Okay, so masada kalem var may mean there is a pen on the table or there is the pen on the table, but usually it will be a. Okay, it's indefinite article a. But if you really want to make it really indefinite, right, then you will just say masada bir kalem var. Masada bir kalem var will really mean that it's a pen. Okay, a pen. Okay, so masada kalem var or bir kalem var, they are same in terms of Turkish meaning. Okay, but if you really want to specify that there is an indefinite pen, then you will just add bir, which means a or an. Okay. Masada kalem var or masada bir kalem var. There is a pen on the table. Let's make it now negative. Okay. So masada kalem yok. Very simple. So you just add masada. Let's make it also bir. Okay. There is no bir kalem yok. Or you can just say masada kalem yok. There is by the way, in regard to the yok, I want to note one thing here. When you say there isn't any pen on the table, that's a bit different in terms of Turkish meaning than, for example, saying there is no pen on the table. So I prefer, when I translate kalem yok, when I translate yok into English, I will advise you always to use there is no, okay, pen. That's the closest in terms of the meaning in English. There is no pen on the table. You can also say there isn't any pen on the table. Okay, it's quite okay. But the issue with the any is that any has also a different meaning in Turkish, okay, which is also hiç. I'll explain it later. But for now, let's kind of see the translation of yok as there is no. Okay, instead of there isn't, let's use it as there is no. Or for plural of course there are no, right? So masada bir kalem yok or masada kalem yok will be just there is no pen on the table. What about the interrogative? Masada kalem var mı? Right? Look at the rule. Let me just again pop it here. So look at the rule. Interrogative. Masada kalem var mı? Right? So let's go back. Masada. You can also again say bir kalem var mı? Is there any pen? Right? Bir kalem var mı? Question mark. Is, let me just make it English alphabet. Is there a pen, okay, a pen or any pen on the table? Let me just make it a bit smaller again one more time. Okay, masada bir kalem var mı? Is there a pen on the table? Masada kalem var mı is same in terms of the meaning with masada bir kalem var mı? Okay, masada kalem var mı? Masada bir kalem var mı? They are same. But again, just to repeat, if you want to specify the indefiniteness of the object, then of course you will add masada bir kalem var mı? Is there any pen, a pen on the table at all? Okay. And the last one is the negative interrogative. Let's make it now. Masada bir kalem yok mu? Masada, let me just make it again. Bir kalem yok mu? Okay. English, isn't there a pen or any pen, okay, on the table? That's basically it. Now let me just also here in the negative add a, any, okay, so that you also know that variation, any, a or any. Okay, isn't there a or any pen, because it has two meanings at the same time. By the way, can you see all the kind of sentences clearly? I'm not sure. You can also post in the chat if you like, if you have anything to say. I'm just kind of decreasing the font size to have them all on the same lines. Okay, so what is the let me just make it a bit again more a bit smaller again. 15. I think it should be, yes, even 15 is not. 16 maybe. Okay, so masada bir kalem var, masada bir kalem yok, or masada kalem yok. There is no pen on the table. Masada kalem var mı? Is there a pen or any pen on the table? Let me also put the question marks here. And the last one is masada bir kalem yok mu? Masada kalem yok mu? Isn't there a or isn't there any pen on the table? This is basically the rule, okay? So you can replace anything here, anything with anything else. So let's give another example here from, for example, let's assume you want to, you talk about bread, okay? Bread at home. Do you have bread at home or not? Evde, okay, let's just replace everything. Evde ekmek var. Evde ekmek var, which means what? We have bread at home, right? Evde ekmek var. There is bread at home. There is bread at home. Okay? So then we will have to replace what? Evde ekmek yok. Evde ekmek yok. There is no bread at home. Let me just copy it. Okay? There is no bread at home now. Evde ekmek yok. There is no bread at home. If you want to ask, is there any bread at home? So what will be the case? It will be evde ekmek var mı, right? Evde ekmek var mı? Is there bread at home? Is there bread at home? Question mark. And then the negative interrogative will be evde ekmek yok mu? Isn't there bread at home? Evde ekmek yok mu? Isn't there bread at home? Okay. Evde ekmek var. There is bread at home. Evde ekmek yok. There is no bread at home. Evde ekmek var mı? Is there bread at home? Evde ekmek yok mu? Isn't there any bread at home? Okay. Isn't there bread at home, or isn't there any bread at home? It will be just the English version, of course. Any, you can say any, right? Any. Now, the point with any, that's what I wanted to say before. The point with any is that any has a separate meaning in Turkish, okay? So if you really want to say, isn't there any at all, right? Any bread at home. Then of course you would say what? Evde hiç ekmek yok mu? Because any has also the meaning of hiç. Let me put it here. Okay, hiç. So if you say any, it also can mean evde hiç ekmek yok mu? Which means, isn't there any bread at all? Okay, at all. Therefore, I usually don't prefer to say any when we translate to English. I mean, this kind of var and yok, right? So I just prefer without any, and therefore I just say, is there any bread at home? Which can also mean what? Evde hiç ekmek var mı? Is there any bread at all at home? So, in terms of any, be careful that it can really also mean hiç, which means at all, okay? Is there any bread at home? At all. Let me also see, you don't translate on the table, right? Let me just, okay, there's a question. Kim, on the table, we do translate, of course. Where do you see on the table? So, I think I just missed your point, right? Was it about the pencil on the table? Of course, you translate. So you just say, in this case, you see ev here means home, and de here means locative ending. At, right? At. Evde means at home. Home means ev, and de means locative ending. Evde. And in case of table, it was on the table, right? The masa. Masada. Masada. Masa was table, and da was locative ending on. So I think that was the question. But if I'm not kind of if that's not what I usually ask, just let me know. My chat window is separate from where I work. Okay, so I just can skip. Sorry, I can miss really your questions when you ask. But I will be checking your chat window more frequently. So let's kind of continue with this now for now. So let's get more examples. Let's go over the more examples now. For example, let's say there is a child. I think even we can reverse, right? English first and then English in Turkish. There is, let's make it like this so that it might be easier for you. There is a child, okay, a child in the car. In the car. So how do we say there is a child in the car? So we have to say first in, right? Which is de, arabada çocuk var. There is a child in the car. Arabada çocuk var. So if you want to reverse it, right? Let me just erase everything here. Okay. There is no child in the car. Arabada çocuk yok. Very simple, okay? So if you want to say arabada, is there any child or is there a child in the car? Then is there a or any child in the car? Question mark. Arabada çocuk var mı? Çocuk var mı? Okay. And last one, isn't there a car? Sorry, a child. Let me just make and isn't. Right. Sorry. Isn't there any child in the car? Arabada çocuk yok. Of course, yok, because it's yok, you have to change it to mu, right? Yok mu. That's it. Okay. There is a child in the car. Arabada çocuk var. There is no child in the car. Arabada çocuk yok. Is there a or any child in the car? Arabada çocuk var mı? Isn't there a any child in the car? Arabada çocuk yok mu? That's simple. Okay. Let's go with another example. Don't forget the issue with the var and yok. In most cases, we talk about some locative case. It's about the location. That's why we use locative case here with the nouns. A few months. Okay, we have a comment here. A few months. I love your videos. Keep it up. Thank you very much for the feedback. Thank you very much. It really motivates me when people really learn from the videos. So okay, let's now look at the example of let's say there is an animal in the picture. Okay, there is an animal in the picture. I'm changing the examples so for you to see more. Okay, picture. Resimde hayvan var. Okay, resimde hayvan var. You see, resim means what? Picture, and we have to use locative case ending de. That's the noun case, right? Resimde. So locative case de, not da, because it's the soft vowels. Resimde hayvan, which means animal. Resimde hayvan var. There is an animal in the picture. Let's make it now negative. Okay. There is no animal in the picture. By the way, whenever you watch these videos, I really advise you to also write them down to practice, because that's one of the best ways to learn any language. So together with me, if you can, if you have a chance, if you have this opportunity, yok. Is there any animal? Is there an or any? Okay, any animal in the picture. Resimde hayvan var mı? Var mı, right? So it's always a mı, not any other variation. Let me just change the keyboard. I have always to change the keyboard. Hayvan var mı? And isn't there, right? Now it will be isn't there. Now isn't there a or any animal in the picture? Resimde hayvan yok mu, right? Yok mu. Don't forget, mu and mu, they are stable. So for positive, for affirmative, it is always mu, var mı, and for the negative, interrogative, it will be always yok mu. So isn't there a or any animal in the picture? Resimde hayvan yok mu? Now, of course, this is about the kind of asking what, about whether there is something or there isn't, but you also can ask what. You can also say, for example, how many, right? How many animals are there on the picture, for example? So how will you say that? For example, let's make that sentence positive. Let me also check one thing here very quickly. Okay. Okay, so let's say we want to say there are 5 animals in the picture. Okay, there are 5 animals in the picture, which means what? So you have to say there is or there is same. So one more kind of a rule: there is or there are in Turkish they are same. You will always say var and yok. Okay, whether it's singular or plural, plural. Sorry, there are 5 animals in the picture. So resimde, beş. We have to use the number, right? Beş hayvan var. Now make sure not to put a plural ending for the hayvan, because in Turkish, when we have counting number in front of the noun, we never add, not never, but we usually don't add any plural ending to the noun. Okay, so we don't say hayvanlar. Resimde 5 hayvanlar var. That is wrong. Okay, we don't say that. With numbers, we always use, with counting numbers, we always use just singular. The plurality here comes from the number. Okay, so we all already understand that it's plural from the number. So resimde 5 hayvan var. There are 5 animals in the picture. And if you want to say negative, of course, for this, there aren't. Okay, there aren't 5. So there aren't, or there are no 5. There are no 5 is kind of a weird in English, right? So there aren't 5. We can say there aren't 5 here, because there are no 5 animals in the picture. Is weird, sounds weird in English. So there aren't 5 animals in the picture. Resimde 5 hayvan yok. That's simple. Okay. Now, are there? So if you want to say are there, right? Are there in Turkish? Interrogative, affirmative interrogative. Are there 5 animals in the picture? Question mark. Resimde 5 hayvan var mı? Right? And last, if you might want to make a negative interrogative, aren't there 5 animals in the picture? Resimde 5 hayvan yok mu? Right? Yok mu? Yok mu? Resimde 5 hayvan yok mu? Resimde 5 hayvan var. Resimde 5 hayvan yok. Resimde 5 hayvan var mı? Resimde 5 hayvan yok mu? Okay, aren't there 5 animals in the picture? Let me see the chat. Okay, so no questions so far. Let's ask one more kind of. Let's make one more sentence, and then I have other notes for you. So let's say also there is milk in the fridge. Okay, there is milk in the refrigerator. Okay, let's make it. There is milk. There is milk in the refrigerator. Okay. So what is refrigerator? Buzdolabı, right? Buzdolabı. And because we add the locative ending da here, we have the fusion letter n in between. Okay, da. We say buzdolabında, not buzdolabıda, but buzdolabında. So it is basically adding n in between as a fusion letter here. Let me just mark it here. Okay, so buzdolabında. Then we have to say what? Milk, right? Süt var. Buzdolabında süt var. There is milk in the refrigerator. Okay, now let's copy paste it, and let's say no, there is no milk, or there isn't any milk. There is no milk in the refrigerator. Buzdolabında süt yok. Okay, let's now make it interrogative, affirmative interrogative. Is there, right? Is there any milk? That will be the proper English use. Is there any milk in the refrigerator? Question mark. Buzdolabında süt var. And then we add mı, right? Mı. Okay. And then we add the negative. For the negative interrogative, we'll say isn't there, right? Isn't there any milk in the refrigerator? Buzdolabında süt yok mu? Süt yok mu? That's it basically. Okay, so whatever we say there is, we use var. There isn't, or there aren't, both of them are yok. Okay, is there any, or are there any, will be var mı, and isn't there any, aren't there any, will be buzdolabında süt yok mu. In this case, will be yok mu. Okay, let me also check the chat whether there are any questions. Okay, so that's basically the rule. Okay, in terms of the rule, that I have many examples. We can do many examples, but I think it's clear, right? Let me go over some notes I have here in regard to that. One important note related to the var and yok is that var and yok can also be used in different contexts to mean different things. But of course, that's a very kind of a different topic for now. But let me clarify it. Var and yok is not only used to express there is, there are. It can also be used to express I have. Okay, I have, you have, and so on. So let me also show that here in order to kind of for you not to confuse it with the other kind of examples or cases when you see somewhere else. So for example, if you want to say I have, you have, right, using var and yok, and that's by the way another way of saying I have or you have, okay, possession. So you will use pronouns with the locative endings. Pronouns with the locative endings da, de, and then whatever that object is plus var. For example, so let me just give you an example. It will be clear for you, very clear for you, to the examples. So if I want to say I have money, okay, I have money, you can say, so first it's pronoun I, right, ben, and then you add the locative ending de, ben de, then you add money, para, var. That's it, okay, I have money, ben de para var. If you want to make it negative, you would say what? I have no money, bende para yok, or hiç para yok. If you say any money, I don't have any, I have no money, I don't have any money, that will be sorry, I don't have. Let me just, I don't have. It's okay, I don't have any or have no money. It's both okay. Let me just make it that way. I have no money or I don't have any money, bende para yok. So if your child comes to you and says, Mom, do you have money? Anne, para var mı? Okay, you say, bende para yok. I don't have any money. I don't have money. I have no money. Okay, bende para yok. If you really want to stress, emphasize, I don't have any money at all. Okay, I don't have money at all. Of course, you can say, bende hiç para yok. Okay, I don't have any money. That's why I said any really means in Turkish hiç, okay, hiç, at all, okay, so no whatsoever. So if you say bende hiç para yok, that is the emphasis of really having no at all, okay, I have no money at all, or I don't have any money. So let's continue this kind of a sentence and make it interrogative, affirmative interrogative. Do I have money? Okay, do I have money? Bende para var mı? Right? Para var mı? And then, don't I have money? Okay, let me just copy paste it. Don't I have money? Bende para yok mu? That's it. Okay, so var and yok, it is anyway used in the locative case, okay, with the locative case ending anyway. So when you say, for example, there is a pen on the table, right, masada kalem var, you already use the locative ending da da. So when you use that locative ending with the pronouns, that has a meaning of I have or I don't have, okay. So locative is stable. With var and yok, locative ending is stable. But when that locative ending da or de is joined with the pronoun, then it becomes the meaning of I have or I don't have, and so on. Okay, so let's practice this one more time. For example, let's make it you, right? Sen. You have a car, okay? You have a car. So what do you say? You say sen, right? Sende. Now it's sen. Sende. So the locative ending will be sende. Araba var. Araba var. Sende araba var. You have a car, okay? Or you can also say sende bir araba var, if you want really to make it with to specify the indefinite article, okay? You have a car. Sende bir araba var, or sende araba var. You have a car, okay? You have no car. Okay, so you will be saying what? Let me just erase this one. Okay, so you have no car or you don't have any car. Sende bir araba yok. Sende araba yok. Okay. Do you have a car? Do you? This is singular to you, okay? This is not plural you, therefore I just don't make it capital letter. Do you have a car? Question mark. Sende araba var mı? Imagine you are asking your friend, you want to go somewhere and you ask, do you have a car? Okay. Sende araba var mı? And that person would say yes. Evet, bende araba var. Or hayır, bende araba yok. Okay. Do you have a car? And the last one will be, let me just copy paste this one. Don't. Okay, don't you have a car? Sende araba yok mu? Okay. Sende araba yok mu? And you can answer, yes, I do have. Yes, evet, var. And that's it. Okay. Evet, bende araba var. Evet, var. So you have a car, sende araba var. You have no car or you don't have any car will be sende araba yok. Do you have a car or do you have any car? Sende bir araba var mı or sende araba var mı? Don't you have a car or don't you have any car will be sende araba yok mu or sende bir araba yok mu? Okay, so thank you to Vijayashri. I don't know how to properly pronounce your kind of name, but I hope I pronounce it Vijayashri, right? Vijayashri. Or maybe, do you have shorter versions of the names like Vija or Via? I don't know what it is. We really like to kind of shorten the names or whatever. But yeah, thank you. I really appreciate it. And so, of course, you always can answer the question. That was one thing more, right? One more thing about the var and yok. You can always make it short. So if somebody asks you, do you have a car? Okay. Sende araba var mı? You can simply say yes, yeah, right? Evet, var. Or you can prolong it and say, evet, bende araba var. Or if you don't have a car, you say, hayır, yok. Hayır, bende araba yok. Okay? So that's basically about this. But again, the main usage of var and yok is about there is and there isn't, okay? And when you use this da and de locative ending with the pronouns, that becomes a completely different meaning, which means have, okay, to have, okay. So we can also you can also use what with let's say give them bees, right? So if for bees it will be what? You have a car. If it will be bees, it will be we, right? We have a car. Okay, we have a car. Then what? Bizde. I just replace everything. Okay, bizde araba var. We, let me just copy paste everything here. We have no car. Do we have a car? Right? And don't we have a car? So then you change everything. Bizde araba var. Bizde araba yok. Bizde araba var mı? Bizde araba yok mu? And that's it. Okay? That's the meaning of have. Now, don't forget that we have other versions of have. Okay? In Turkish. But usually you will say var or yok to say I have or I don't have. Imagine a dialogue. Okay? You ask friend, do you have money? Sende para var mı? And he says, hayır, bende para yok. Peki sende var mı? And what about you? Do you have any money? Hayır, bende de yok. Which means what? I don't have either. Bende de yok. Okay, let me just have a question. How about I have no objection or I don't have any objection? Do we still use bende with locative ending? No, you use a verb, a separate verb. Okay, you don't say bende itiraz yok. That will be very weird. You just say itiraz etmiyorum. Okay, so that means basically I don't object. So don't think about that as in English. Okay, in English it will, yes, I don't have an objection, but in Turkish you will just use a verb for that. İtiraz etmiyorum. Okay, so we don't necessarily try to translate everything like in English. In English, we may have, or I don't have some kind of, for example, objection. I don't have, I don't know, persuasion, something like that. So you will never use that in Turkish like that. You will just use appropriate verb for that. I can't think of any other example like that. That's a good example, by the way, because here you just replace with the verb, a specific verb for that. But yeah, the answer is you will just say itiraz etmiyorum. I don't object. Because itiraz etmek means to object. Okay, itiraz etmek. By the way, itiraz means objection anyway. Right? İtiraz. İtiraz means objection, and itiraz etmiyorum means I don't do objection. That is the literal translation of the to object. Okay, İtiraz etmek, to object. İtiraz etmiyorum, I don't object. Okay, viju, right? So it's viju, right, or vu, because that letter J can be pronounced different in different formats in different kind of countries. I hope it's viju, right? Viju. Good to know. Any questions? Any other questions? I think I have covered everything regarding this topic that I had in mind, at least in my notes. But I advise you to practice it also for yourself. Again, for the articles, don't think very much about the articles. In Turkish, we don't have those articles. It is an issue for those people who translate from Turkish to English. Okay, the other way around, you don't care about the articles anyway. So if araba yok, right, you just say it means there is no car. Bende araba yok means I don't have a car. Now, by the way, that's a good example. Let me put it in context. Two different examples. Okay, so. Bahçede araba yok. Okay, let me just put it here as an example so that you can see the difference. Okay, bahçede araba yok. Okay, which means what? There is no car in the garden, or in the kind of in the garden. Okay, and if you say bende araba yok, it becomes I don't have a car. Okay, very simple. I kind of use both cases in different contexts. So, if you use it for the places like masa, right, table, the garden, home, refrigerator, that means there is no, there is, there isn't, there is no, and is there. Okay, but if you use it with pronouns, it becomes I have, I don't have. Any other questions? Anything in mind that you have about this topic? Bende araba yok. Okay. Bahçede araba var mı? Is there any car in the garden? Bende araba var mı? Do I have a car? I hope this is clear. I usually allocate around 1 hour. I plan to allocate around 1 hour for each lesson. And every Tuesday I will have a separate kind of a topic to cover. Okay, so that's what I have planned. I don't know whether it will be really productive. I don't know whether it will be really useful. I don't know whether I can continue that way for a long time. But let's see. For now, at least until the January, I will have it Tuesday and Thursdays. So Tuesday again, just to repeat for those who joined later on. So for Tuesday, on Tuesdays, I will have a separate grammar topic to explain as a new topic. And on Thursdays, I will have a Q&A session. It's question and answer session, so where you can ask different things about the language. So I will, of course, try to stay focused as much as possible. And because there might be more questions in the long term, when we have more subscribers or people joining the live sessions, it might be not manageable at all. But let me just for now at least organize those sessions with the purpose to answer the questions that you may have about Turkish language. Anything else? Any questions? Nothing? Let me just see whether I have any of my notes of my own. No, I don't have any notes. I think I have finished. I do have many examples though, but not notes to say about the things. Okay, if there are no other questions, I will probably finish it. just confirm. Just confirm, and then I just adjourn the meeting. Okay, there is a PUBG. Why do you say buzdolabında but you don't say arabanda? Is it because araba ends in an A and buzdolabı ends? Right, buzdolabında süt var. For example, there is milk in the refrigerator. And now the reason we add, let me just make it a bit bigger, okay? The reason we add N over here is because there is a fusion ladder, okay? There is a fusion ladder that we add. Now, this is a topic I had explained multiple times. Not actually, very kind of one time I explained it in the comments. But make sure that you don't confuse the ending of your, which is your, for example, annen, right? Your mother, anne, annen, annende. So let's not confuse two things. One thing is when you say possession, right, which means your, and the second is the fusion ladder here. So this case, buzdolabında süt var, okay? Buzdolabı. So if we want to say, let me separate it here, buzdolabı, okay? Let's make it, this is the first case, buzdolabı. If you want to say in your, okay, in your refrigerator, then you of course will say buzdolabı. It will be the same, right? And how do we transform it? So buzdolabı means refrigerator. Your refrigerator will be what? Buzdolabın, right? Buzdolabın, your refrigerator. And then if you want to say in your refrigerator, then you will say in, just add da, okay? You just add da to the word that has a possessive ending your. You see? So if you want to say just in the refrigerator, not in your refrigerator, it will still be the same because but then it will be the fusion letter N. Not the possession, but the fusion letter N. Their writing will be the same, okay? The spelling will be the same. But in this case, if you want first add this one, okay? Buzdolabın, this means your refrigerator. Okay? Now if you want to say in your refrigerator, of course you have to add the ending, like locative ending da to this buzdolabın, which means your refrigerator, right? So let me just copy paste it. And then if you just add da, it means in your refrigerator. In your refrigerator, okay? Buzdolabında, because we add da, locative ending da, to your refrigerator, to buzdolabın, okay? While in the second case, if you want to say just in the refrigerator, okay, then we add, let me just clarify it one more time. So if you want just have buzdolabı, right, then you would say what? Buzdolabı, okay. And if you want to make it da, buzdolabı da, then you add the fusion letter N. But again, that N also can mean in your. But here, because we care about not in your, not to say your, but just say what? Just to say da, which means in refrigerator, then you will just add fusion letter N in between, which is a must here, okay? It's not about the fact that we want to make it possessive N, but just N as a fusion letter. But you see the result is same. Buzdolabında süt var. It means there is milk in refrigerator, or there is milk in your refrigerator. In one case, it's the locative ending da added to the possessive ending N as addition. And in the second case, it is da added to buzdolabı, but because we cannot put them together, we add the fusion letter N in between. Okay? So in case of arabada, if you just use locative case to say there is something in the car, you would say arabada. But if you want to say in your car, then you will say arabanda, okay? Because you first add N, senin araban, right? Araban, your car, and then in your car means arabanda. But of course we don't have fusion letter N because araba ends. So in the buzdolabı, that's a exceptional case. We have to, because it's a compound word. It means buzdolabı. Okay, it's compound word composed of two different words. But araba is where it's kind of it ends in vowel, and it doesn't need any fusion letter N to say locative case arabada. Okay, but if you say arabanda, then that means in your car. Okay, that is specific for buzdolabı. You see, for buzdolabı, when you add locative ending da, you have to add that fusion letter N, and that is same with the possessive ending buzdolabın too at the same time. Is paran var and param yok also correct? Yes, param var means I do have money. I have money, and param yok means I don't have money. Okay, param var, bende para var is the same thing. Let me just put it here. Okay, is it clear why we have and that's kind of a special case here? That's a good question, but one is fusion letter and one is possession here. Param var is equal to bende para var. Okay, I have money. Yes. Now, in which case you will use which one, it doesn't matter that much. But it usually depends on the case. How to describe this? Okay. I mean, if for specifically for money, right? You wouldn't say bende para var. I just gave you an example here, but of course you can say param var. Very simply, param var. Param var mı? Your mom can ask you, right? Param var mı? And you can say evet, param var. Okay. Or sende para var mı? Which means do you have money? And you can say evet, bende para var. From context perspective, it does have a bit difference, but I can't really think of how to explain that difference. I think you will catch that difference when you use Turkish more frequently. But param var is kind of to confirm, okay? To confirm that you have. While bende para var means I have money. You don't confirm the possession of money, but you confirm the money itself, okay? That you have money, not anything else. For example, you can say bende para yok ama kalem var. For example, bende para yok ama kalem var. Okay? Param yok ama kalemim var. Now, of course, for param, that's a different, of course, usage, but think about why we say param, right? It's benim param var. When we say param var, arabam var, it means benim param var, benim arabam var. We don't kind of pronounce the first part, right, which is possession. The genitive endings with the pronouns. So with the pronouns. But yes, essentially they mean the same thing. Okay, param var, bende para var. Okay, what's the difference between para and param? Okay, that's exactly what you asked. Yeah, para means money. Param means my money. That's a kind of a weird thing in Turkish. It's when you say remember at the beginning of the lesson I told you that there are different ways of saying I have something, right? And one of the ways is really to use that kind of a structure. Let me just erase everything here so that you don't have this kind of a mess here. Okay, so let's say, but this is a very specific lesson. I will have a separate lesson on this, okay? On have, on possession, how to say I have something in Turkish. So param var means basically, it is the open version, the full version of this is what? Benim param var, okay? Benim param var. I have money. But in language, in spoken language, we never use this kind of a benim, only if you have to specify. Only if you have to specify, right? For example, a person in the crowd says param var, right? And the person who asked doesn't know who said that. He may ask kimin parası var? Then you can clarify, yes, benim param var. But usually you would not say benim at the beginning because that's useless. Okay, that's just a repetition. repetition. If you will only say benim if you have to clarify that you mean me, okay, not anybody else. Benim param var. You show to yourself. You kind of have to point to yourself. But we will have a separate lesson about this have, okay, to have in Turkish language. I will allocate a separate time for that. Another question. Hello, how would you say I also have money? Benim de param var, you would say, okay. Bende de para var or benim de para var, param var. For example, I also have money. Benim de param var. Or bende de para var. Okay, bende de para var. I also have money. Benim de param var. Here you see, now you have to use that benim because you point to yourself. I also have, right? Benim de param var. You cannot, for example, say param da var because param da var means I have money too. Okay, it's not about me, kind of a point to yourself, but I have money too in addition to other things. Okay, I have other things and also money, that kind of thing. But if you say benim de param var, it means I also have money. Bende de para var. It means I also have money. Okay. But if you change the place of de here, and if you make, for example, this kind of thing like this, benim param da var. Okay. If you change the place of benim to benim param da var, it means in addition to other things, I also have money. Okay. Bende para da var. I also have money, yes, but I already explained you the difference, right, between the two sentences. Benim de param var, which means I also have money. Benim param da var means I also have money in addition to other things. You see, wherever you put that da, that makes the either kind of a meaning for that specific thing. If you say benim de, it means I either, okay? If you say param da, it means money too. Okay, it's kind of adding that eitherness meaning to that part specifically. Hello, Fabiola. Nice to see you here. I basically see around 3, 4, 5 people, constant people who really watch my videos. Thank you for joining. I think you will have time to watch the complete session from the beginning to the end. It is recorded. I will put all these live session videos in the different folders, and some of them will be, again, Tuesday lessons are going to be about the grammar, and Thursday lessons will be about the kind of asking questions. You will have different questions to ask. I'll do my best to respond to them. So, any other questions before we finish? This is already 1 hour. I can extend it to 2 hours, to 3 hours. It's fine for me, but I don't know. You might be bored. You might be kind of already. The topic is already clear, I think, right, about the var and yok. But you're also free to ask any other topics. But if I see, for example, that the topic requires more time, and for example, like have, right, to have. The verb to have in Turkish it's a completely different topic. You cannot, for example, explain it very shortly. You have to allocate a separate lesson for that. Merhaba Rayhan, welcome. Hoş geldin. So whenever I see that the question is very short, I will answer it. But if the question requires elaborate lesson, separate lesson for that, for at least 1 hour, I will definitely allocate time for that separately. And of course, I have already a list of the topics that I want to explain. I'll probably also go over the topics that I have already posted in the grammar kind of a section of my channel, because some people still can have questions about that, but not all of them, of course. I will not go over the alphabet, for example. That will be kind of a useless. Rayhan asks whether it's sana or seni versus seni, right? Sana means to you, seni means I love you. So it's about the cases of the noun. I don't know whether you have watched the noun cases video in my channel, but that's one of the most important lessons you may have watched. Okay, so please do allocate time to watch that video. So when you say sana, it means to you. Okay, it's about the ending basically. Let me just put it here. Sana, it means to you. Sana verdim, right? Sana verdim. I gave it to you. I gave it to you. Seni means you. For example, I see you. I love you, right? Seni seviyorum. Now, why do we say not sene, right? I love you. I think that's the question. Why don't we say sene verdim, right? Sene is not the Turkish way. We don't say sene because it's sana verdim, not sene verdim, because the dative case requires. Let me also put that in the cases, right? If you look at the pronoun of the case declension in terms of the sen, what should be the case? It should be what? It should be sen, right? Senin. Let me just make it here. Okay, senin, sana, seni, senden, right? Sende and senden. This is basically the 6 cases, possible cases of nouns, and when you apply them to pronouns, the third dative case becomes not sene, but sana. Okay, that's the only difference. Other than that, nothing else. It's just a kind of irregularity in the pronoun. And same for the ben, right? For ben it will be what? Ben, benim, right? Ben, benim, bana, beni, bende, benden. That's it. So 6 cases of nouns, and the same endings. You have normal case without any ending, right? Genitive, dative, accusative, ablative, and locative and ablative. That's how you add the endings, and when you add this third dative case ending a or e, it becomes not bene, but bana. That's just irregularity, okay? Nothing else. Craig, why your brain is exploding? Is it difficult? Did you join earlier towards the beginning of the class, or I'm not sure who joined when? And we currently have around 16 people, I think, watching. Any other things? 17 people actually. Any other things before we finish the lesson for today? I'm sure there will be more and more questions. Some of the questions will be repeating over time. So excuse me, or kind of bear with me whenever I repeat something, even if it's something already explained for you, because some other joiners, some people who join later, some people who will be watching videos later, they probably will be repeating some questions, so just bear with those kind of people. But if I remember that I have explained something in the previous videos, of course I will be a bit shorter with them, not to bore you. So basically that's it. Anything else before we finish? By the way, this is, excuse my kind of, I have spent so much time to kind of prepare for this first live session. I don't know what is problematic for you, voice, noise issues, kind of the appearance. I don't know whether this is really the good format of kind of teaching. That's at least something I found for now. So if you have any suggestions, just let me know to improve the live sessions, to improve the kind of format. I think typing is already kind of one way of learning on the go. And I think also that maybe there will be some kind of better methods to teach, but I will probably learn it from you. And again, just to repeat, if you really want to learn it, especially the grammar topic of the day, of the lesson, better do try to type together with me, okay? Because the writing skills, they make them kind of more memorable. If you write together, if you rewrite something as you watch, it might be more kind of a memorable for you. You can remember it easier, much easier, and that's kind of a methodological, pedagogical issue. Not something I really advise. It's just pedagogical issue. Okay, I think there are no other questions, so I'll stop probably streaming here. See you on Thursday at the same time, okay? 6 p.m. Istanbul time, and come with questions. For Thursday, I expect you to have questions, okay? That's the Q&A session. So next Tuesday we will come with some kind of another grammar topic. But for Thursday, 6 p.m. Istanbul time, GMT +3, we will have question and answer session. So come prepared, come with questions, as many as you can, and we will. Every single person's question does teach something to other people too. I'm sure, even if you just repeat some certain topics, it's definitely useful to repeat. So basically, that's it. And by the way, because of during the grammar sessions, I have to kind of be a bit more explanatory. I'll probably use English more than anything else. But of course, in examples, we will have more Turkish. Okay arkadaşlar, her şey yolunda mı? Bugünün dersi nasıldı? Beğendiniz mi? Did you like the lesson today? Bir sorunuz var mı? You see, I'm using the var, right? Bir sorunuz var mı? Or I can say soru var mı? Soru var mı means are there any questions? Or is there any question? Soru var mı? Soru yok mu? Don't you have any questions, right? Soru yok mu? Okay then, if no questions, I'll see you then on Thursday. Okay? Have a nice day, enjoy, and if you are still not a subscriber of this channel, I encourage you, and please don't forget to support the channel through your thumbs up, likes, and so on. That really helps for the channel to go forward. I really appreciate it. Görüşürüz arkadaşlar. Perşembe günü görüşmek üzere.